Okay, today we are playing a game on Route 66. We are playing Winston the entire way through, and this is a competitive game, but it happened during placement, so who knows what the SR is up to. So our current team composition is Winston, Zarya, Farah, Soldier 76, Anna, and Mercy. So wholly unremarkable and not worth talking about, so we're just gonna start the game. We are defending first, so it does make it a little bit awkward to defend the first point on Route 66 if you don't have a Reinhardt and or an Orisa, because it can make it hard to just stand up on top of the gas station, which is kind of a big deal for the first checkpoint, but it's not the end of the world either, because there's still, like, the sign to stand behind, you know? So, Zarya gets hooked in, and we jump in. We are going in, like, a little soon, because the payload isn't actually around the corner yet, which you do usually want to wait for it to get, like, here, because then the enemy team can't shoot at you from inside their spawn, basically. Not quite inside their spawn, but you know what I'm saying. So, it's a little bit soon, but also Zarya got hooked, so we probably feel a little pressure to do so. It's also important to note that Zarya got hooked first, because that kind of makes what we do worse, because we jump in. She can't bubble us. Well, she could have done if she reacted very quickly, but because she couldn't bubble us, we just get CC'd by the McCree, and we have to basically immediately leave again. So, that shows you, that right there can show you why Zarya plus Winston is a pretty big deal, because it makes it a lot harder for that to happen, which just happened to us right there. Now we jump back in. We don't have our bubble up just yet, but we have it up pretty quickly, and we get bubbled by Zarya as we're going in as well this time, so it makes things a lot easier. We killed both their hit scan heroes. One of them got rezzed, but they've lost a lot of tempo at this point, so they're pretty fucked. We do start overreaching, but we don't quite overreach, and we call the whole thing off, so that's good. Our team wants to go and stand up there, which we don't really want to go and stand at because, well, that can happen. Should that have happened to Soldier? No, he was standing in a stupid-ass place, but people are gonna do what they're gonna do, so what can you do? Not much. So, we are not allowed to do this, because we don't have our bubble. We just put our bubble down back there, so I'm bumping the tape with the keyboard. We just put our bubble down back there, so we can't, use it as we do this, and we just kind of walk in front of the enemy team for no reason, and take a lot of damage, and could have gotten killed for it, as well, if the enemy team is, like, slightly better at killing us. So, be careful about where you're gonna walk if you don't have your bubble. So, now we're on their back line, and Winston, their Roadhog, is using a whole hog right now, and I think he got nano boosted as well, so that really sucks, and there's nothing we can do about that one. But we did manage to kill their back line, but most of our team is dead right now. We do use Primal Rage. I wouldn't use Primal Rage, because unless we're gonna push the entire enemy team off this cliff, it's not really gonna amount to anything, and, like, our team isn't here yet. Like, we're lucky to have lived. Like, we got out with basically no HP. We got out 7 hit points. We should have just waited for our team to get back. You just gotta take that death, because us using Primal Rage like that did nothing. Because, yeah, we killed someone, that's cool and all, their spawn is right there. So it didn't make any difference that we did that. We could have just waited for our team to get back, and then we have Primal Rage for when we have a fight that we have a chance to win. Our whole team was dead by that point. You gotta be willing to just take the death sometimes. So, but they had to push it pretty far, and we did stall it out, so there's that. Reinhardt does this. This is technically a beneficial trade for him, because their spawn is so much closer, but they've already lost the team fight by the time this happens anyway, because our Farah just killed their entire team. So, that benefit of us taking slightly longer to get back doesn't mean anything for them, so good job, Farah, killing the entire enemy team.
Watch the charge.
They do, as you might have been able to tell from the length of this replay, they don't just hold it in front of the checkpoint, in front of the gas station for the entire game. They get there in the end. Not like there, but they get somewhere. So, this is just, we leave our bubble behind, and that makes a big deal sometimes, because, that happens. We know the enemy team has a lot of CC on it, because we know they have, a lot of crowd control, I should say. Because someone pointed out to me that, like, newer players probably don't know what CC means, and it's crowd control. They have a lot of crowd control because they have McCree and Roadhog. So, we have to be real, and they have Anna as well. They actually have 3 forms of crowd control right now, because they have the sleep, the stun, and the hook. 4 if you count Reinhardt, but that's kinda nebulous. So, we have to be careful when we jump in, because if we get hit by one of them, we are going to get hit by all of them, and we're going to die. So we have to be careful where we jump, when we jump, and we have to be careful that we don't just immediately get killed as we land, like so. Because if we just, like, land in our, and we have our bubble with us, we probably don't die right there, but we just, like, slightly skid out of it, and that leads to us dying. So, we have, jumped in over here, and this also really sucks for, Winston. I was really surprised when, like, one day in a patch notes that bug fix turned up that Winston can now gains the 1,000 hit points when hit by Anna's grenade. It made so much sense to me that it would just work that way, because before they fixed that, it was like, if you use Primal Rage, you only went up to 500 HP. And it made perfect sense to me that it did that, because I was like, oh yeah, because you heal 500 HP and you gain 500 HP, which is not technically the same thing. But no, you just gain 1,000 HP. I was really surprised when that showed up. That was like a pretty big buff to Winston, actually. So, it's pretty awkward, this game for us, because, like, we are good against their team, because, like, we're good against hit scan heroes in general, and, like, we're good against all supports. So, we're good against 4 out of 6 people on their team. But, they have a lot of crowd control, so if we jump on their team incorrectly, we can be very heavily punished for it. So, even though it's like Winston's good against their team, it's kinda difficult at the same time. So, right here, we shouldn't be doing what we're doing right now, because we're just chasing after a man that we can do nothing to stop. Like, what are we gonna do to help with this situation? Nothing. We're playing Winston. Instead, we should have just been tasing these people the entire time. Like Anna and Mercy, we should have just been attacking them the entire time. Roadhog's got us, it's okay, we've all basically got Primal Rage. We heard High Noon, so we spun around to get him. And we kind of call it off, like, right here. You might as well kill this dude. Like, you've committed enough to this that you might as well just kill the McCree. Because you'll probably still get back anyway, because most of our team was actually still alive. And, like, you had committed so deep, and he had, like, 1 hit left in him. You might as well just finish him off at that point. Because now, he actually gets back and kills our Anna. So that's kind of a big deal, because he just killed one of our supports. Might as well just kill the dude. We're fucked at this point. Like, by this point, most of our team's dead. There's nothing we can do about it. We're boned. We didn't have any Primal Rage left, playing Winston. We got Roadhog there. You know how it be. So, we're gonna have to come back from this spawn now, which, not the end of the world, because we're playing Winston. We do walk out the slightly longer door to get back, so, you know, it's like 1% off the final grade. I'm very tired, so I'm drinking coffee. Don't worry. So, here's Soldier. He's fucked. Like, there's nothing he can do about that one except just keep sprinting and hope to cut corners. So we're on that back line. We take a little while to put the bubble down, which is poor form, because we are definitely going to use it, and you don't want to use it too late. It's better to use it too soon than too late, generally speaking. We get nano boosted, so that kind of makes this awkward, because now we feel like we have to go, but we're, like, kind of overreaching by this point. It's unfortunate that Anna had her sleep dart, because otherwise we would have just killed her and gotten away scot-free. We still get away scot-free. And, well, Zarya just used her Graviton over here. God only fucking knows why. Like, what a terrible use of company resources that one was.
Are they going behind or through the uppermost?
So, they're staggering themselves mad hard right now. We're gonna come up here and fight in the,
Let it go.
in the canyon. Which is not the worst place in the world to fight, but it is, if you've got, like, a pretty bulky team that can just, like, stand up there and fight people. Soldier shouldn't be doing this. That's not allowed. We just jump on him and we kill him, because he's not allowed to be doing that one. So, we've got Primal Rage now. We're gonna come up and have a little bit of a tase in here, see what we can get. Well, we're a little bit afraid of going too deep, which is fair enough. You could, like, I don't think you realistically can get punished for this, because of the people that are left alive on their team. I think you could go harder and try to get this Mercy, and try and, like, stagger her a little bit. Because even if you end up, because our jump was almost back up anyway, because that's just how the jump is, but we also had Primal Rage if we really needed it. I think we might have been able to try and go, like, a little bit more aggressive and try to get the Mercy. At the same time, though, just, like, backing out is rarely going to be the wrong decision, so it depends how brave you're feeling on the day, really. So, here's D.Va. D.Va lost a lot of HP when we started tasing her, so there was really nothing she could do about it. Now we're gonna kill her. She was just, like, not with her team, so that's why she died. Don't do that. Don't just be, like, off on your own unless you've got a reason to be doing so. So it gets very awkward very quickly, but Soldier's out there using TAC Visor, so it's not an issue. Like, we don't even have to worry about anything, because Soldier's just killed half their team and both of their supports. And they're fucked at this point. Like, they've got 10 seconds left, a little more, then, so unless they're gonna overtime it all the way to the end of the checkpoint, they're pretty screwed. At this point, you can just stand, like, almost just stand in the archway and stop them from walking through, because you can't walk through enemy hitboxes. Like, they don't even make it back. They died at, like, really bad times. They just didn't have enough time to get back. So, now we, as you can tell by the length of the replay, yeah, we get it there. Not to spoil the mystique or anything, but we managed to get it there. So, we have the same team, which is fine. No, we don't have the same team, because we have a Farah now. No, we had a Farah before, didn't we? Yeah, we had a Farah before. Okay, no, we have the same team. Okay, I'm crazy. Don't even pay any attention to me. Alright, so, I don't recommend going up through here. Like, we put our bubble down for no reason. Also, this is not a good use of company resources, because now we've wasted our bubble. We do manage to come up and just kill this Junkrat, which is great, but Mercy, still in the game, so didn't happen suddenly, which is very unfortunate. But their soldier's dead, and now, we go in for the Zen. This is where, like, just put your bubble down. Like, just put your bubble down. It came up when we jumped in. If you put your bubble down, you can definitely kill that Zen, because you wouldn't take the... We jump out really early. Like, if you just put the bubble down as soon as you have the bubble, you kill that Zen, and you get away scot-free, because you wouldn't have taken that much damage. We get rest, we can come back and fight again. Their team is a little awkward because it's a Winston and a D.Va, so these, you know, that's like, we basically break even with these heroes, like, none of us are really gonna gain anything, so it makes it a little bit awkward. Right now, a few members of our team are currently dead, so we shouldn't actually be bothering to do this right now, we should just, like, wait for them to get back. And here's also why it's awkward. These two tanks can reposition very quickly. So, like, what we want to do is we want to get up here and kill this soldier, or at least heckle the shit out of him. But, which is normally, like, fine if the enemy team is, like, Reinhardt, Roadhog, Zarya, something like that, because they're probably down here. And if you jump up here, they can't help you. Because these two tanks are so mobile, they can match us and come up here and help it try and save the soldier as well. So that makes it a little bit awkward. This is like why Reinhardt has a lot of trouble being in the game lately. He just can't, like, as, like, the lifespan of a game goes on, mobility just becomes more and more important, because if you're more mobile, you just have more options. There's, like, a few reasons for this, but, like, that's the basic gist, is, like, if you're more mobile, you've got more options. Like, if it's just like Reinhardt and Zarya down here, you jump up here, you kill this soldier, you at least make him jump down, there's nothing they can do to help him, right? If it's D.Va and Winston, well, yeah, they're not great at killing a Winston, but a soldier plus a Winston and a D.Va is gonna kill a Winston, or at least drive him away, so this is, like, why Reinhardt has such a hard time being in the game, because, like, you just can't do anything to stop that kind of thing from happening, whereas Winston and D.Va can match that team's speed, right? There's more reasons to it than that, but that's like the gist of it. So we're currently trying to make plays happen while our shield is down, which is generally a faux pas, but they did, like, a really bad job of trying to help their supports, so we just kind of, like, got away with it anyway. Then we take a big chunk of damage and we have to jump back out, but that's fine. You know, we're Winston. We appropriately enough, Winston uses guerrilla warfare to try and fight. Unfortunately, we lost our Mercy to the mech exploding, which is terrible, obviously. And we were gaining some ground, but they used a couple of ultimates, like Winston used Primal Rage as well, so that's fine. We've got 3 ultimates still, and we've basically got Primal Rage right now, so we got a lot of ultimates, and they just used a couple of ultimates to fend us off, so we have got a good chance in this fight. We do, like, really want to be focusing the soldier and the Junkrat more than we are. Like, this is very awkward, because we've just encountered this Yeti in the middle of Nevada, but we're also a Yeti in the middle of Nevada. So it's kind of an awkward arrangement that we've just stumbled into over here. Yeah. We can't just, like, let Soldier and Junkrat sit really far back attacking our team because, like, the rest of our team can't really do that much to contest these people. Like, Farah can, but Soldier's gonna make it difficult. So, Because there is a Farah, we should focus Soldier more, because he's gonna be the one that's giving Farah trouble, and we can't just, like, let him sit back on the high ground. Like, he's just basically uncontested right now, shooting at our team, which is not okay, and we're playing Winston, so we're the one that's meant to go out there and try and deal with that, really. Now we're up here, and we immediately just, like, jump back down because we see the Mercy. That's, you know, alright, we want to focus the Mercy, that's fair enough, yeah. This never works. Like, this is Mercy 101. Like, float off of high ground, tethered to someone, they follow you down, you go back up onto the high ground. That's never gonna work. Like, you just stay up there and tase the soldier. And, like, either Mercy comes back up and then you can tase her, or she leaves the soldier to his own devices and you can kill him or try to drive him off the high ground at least. Going down after the Mercy never works. We also, like, put our bubble down for not the best reason, and that meant we couldn't put it down to stop Soldier's tack visor, but we instead just start punching him. So, that's a much more direct way to fix the problem, honestly. So, we have finally managed to get through their defenses, and we're gonna come up here and stand in the doorway, you know. As you do. We do want 3 people on the cart, so we come back to stand here, because it moves at max speed when there's 3 people on it, so we do want 3 people on it. So they come back out, here's Winston. We can't do much to stop Winston directly, but we are back here, like, doing damage to him. And there wasn't much better for us to do at the time anyway, because the rest of the team was still getting back, because Winston is faster than the rest of his team. Now they're just, like, scrambling to try and touch the point, and their team is generally bad at touching the point, because they're, like, Soldier and Junkrat. So, we can just kind of kill them as they come back out here to touch it again. At that point, they should have just given up on the checkpoint, because they're so bad at standing on the cart. They might as well just, like, fall back, position so that they can stop, like, this from happening, right? Because, like, if you can kill a bunch of people and just kind of, like, get through this initial part, that makes this checkpoint easier. Because of the ways they died, we get to just push it uncontested for a while. And now there's going to be even more rush as they get back to try and touch it. And we're going to stagger a couple of them. And, like, they chose to die at the worst possible time, basically, trying to contest something they weren't likely to actually save. And because they did that, it's made it so much more difficult for them to defend this point just because of the way their death timers are working. So, they're fucked, basically. And we win the round. And let's see the play of the game. Probably Farah? No, it's Soldier. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Oh! Ooh! Ah! Feels bad, man. Thing that stands out the most in this game, we're not focusing the people that we really should be focusing. We're just letting these people, like, we're letting their DPS sit really far back, basically uncontested. And, like, yeah, we're trying to focus the supports, which is, like, yeah, you want to kill the supports, but also, you can't let the Soldier and the Junkrat just sit back on the high ground, uncontested, shooting at your team, because that makes it really difficult for your team to do anything, so we gotta focus them more. There was also something that I forgot to mention at the time. There was a point where we used Primal Rage, but our bubble was off cooldown at the time. If you're gonna use Primal Rage, try to put your bubble down first, because you can't use your bubble while you're in Primal Rage. So you might as well just put it down and have the timer ticking while you're in Primal Rage, and then the bubble's doing something. And it's just slightly more efficiency out of your cooldowns. Not always the most important thing, and not always feasible, depending on the way the fight's going. But if you can, try to put your bubble down before you use Primal Rage. That happened at a point that I noticed and then forgot to mention it when the point actually came up. So, you know. Professionalism. So yeah, target prioritization is the thing that stood out the most in this game. So thank you very much for watching if you did. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer, and I hope you found the video helpful.